I was actually getting ready to do a completely different video this week, but you know what? I actually stopped. But you know why? Because I got tired. Tired of all the absolute insanity and chaos that's going on. And I'm talking specifically about the arrogance of power, the lawlessness in plain sight. While they expect you and me to smile, keep paying, and going along with it while they do whatever they want. Talking about the system, and I'm talking about the nonsense. So in this video, I'm going to break it down. There's a lot of nuggets in here. Might be a little bit longer than I usually do. But I think you guys will really appreciate it. But as usual, I'm not just going to whine about it. There's some good stuff happening too. So let's get going. All right. So to start off with, we're going to start with AI and tech, one of my favorite subjects. If you may not know about it, this went under the radar, really, actually, I was surprised. It really went under the radar. And if you didn't see it, it would have passed you by. But in this case, we're talking about Larry Ellison of Oracle, talking about an omnipresence, all knowing, all seeing surveillance for everybody, literally everybody. Now, if that wasn't bad enough and scary enough, I want to show you exactly as he lays out what this means for you and for me and for everybody should this go forward. Again, I did a video on surveillance a while ago. This is way worse. So let me get there and show you guys, and we can have a reaction to it. But this is what you need to do. Signal, not noise. And you're just supposed to smile. All right. Pay attention.
Officer is, by the way, and the camera's always on. You don't turn it on and off. And by the way you turn it on, you can't turn it on. I'm going to the bathroom. Oracle, I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off.
I mean, is he serious? Hey, Oracle, please turn the camera off while I go to the bathroom. But keep watching, because it's even worse. Here's what he admits.
The truth is, we don't really turn it off. What we do is we record it
Just said
so
the
no
quiet
one
part
can
out loud.
see it. But no one can get into that recording without a court order. So you get the
Yeah, that
privacy you
makes me feel
requested.
good.
But a court order, if you get a court order, we will, judge, can order, I want to look at that, this so-called bathroom break. If there's something comes up, and plus I'm going to lunch with my friends. Oracle, I need an hour for privacy with lunch with my friends. God bless. We won't.
Wow, isn't that nice of him? Hey, Oracle, I'm going to go to lunch with my friends. Oh, yeah, no problem. We'll just turn the camera off. It's actually never going off, though. And again, I'm surprised this really it just was really under the radar. You really, really do have to pay attention. And that's what's important in this video. The way we fight back and the way we, can resist some of this is, knowledge is power. And a lot of people, are just not seeing these things, and they're busy with their lives and things like that. But it's more important than ever to pay attention. Do you want to live like that? Do you think that we should just go along with that? Because Larry Ellison just says, hey, we're going to have an omnipresent, always on AI surveillance of our schools to stop school shootings. Of course, we want to stop school shootings. But to, our cops, we're going to cover you in drones. All of this, citizens, as he said later in this video, and you can go back to the video. And if you want me to give you the clip, I'll be happy to give you the link or whatever to the video. But he says citizens will be on their best behavior. I mean, this is an absolutely dystopian state, and it's insane. But you guys are just supposed to go along with it and worry about keeping your job while AI and the tech bros, just first of all, take all the money, use all the energy to power these data centers, and then watch you 24/7. So that's the first thing. That's the first signal of chaos that we're going to cover. But it doesn't end there. I want to talk about something else, and it kind of goes back to the last video I did last week about can you lose your job for your behavior when you're not on the clock. So here, as I said, ICE has a big presence in Chicago right now. There is a local affiliate news, and it's been around Chicago my whole life. Always trusted UGN. UGN had an employee who was throwing rocks at ICE agents, and she got arrested. But there's more to the story, so I'm going to show you these 2 clips. And by the way, she outed herself. Her name is Debbie Brockman, and she works for in case you want to send a note to WGN. But anyway, here we go. Let me share the first part, and then I'll share you the second part because it gets worse. This is lawlessness in plain sight. And again, you guys, you got to go along with it. Here we go. Okay, here she is. This is Debbie Brockman. Let me turn on the
WGN. What's your name?
Debbie Brockman, I work for WGN. Let them know.
I got you. Yep. Debbie Browning?
Brockman.
WGN.
Okay, she's not so tough when she's getting
Do you
arrested.
guys want to share your names too, or?
And this is
gonna
tough
cover your
guy.
face.
Debbie Brockman, she works for WGN. Okay, so but here's the second part of the video that is more important for you to watch.
Oh my God.
This is ridiculous. Stop.
Okay, so now this is right after she was apprehended. This is the ICE agents putting her into the van after she's been handcuffed. Here we go. Listen up, listen to the crowd because they threaten ICE agents in this video.
Get the fuck out.
Hopefully your wife and children make it home.
Okay, that was Tough Guy from the first video. You can recognize the voice. He says, hopefully your wife and children can make it home. That's a threat.
What is this vehicle, honestly?
Now watch this.
Yeah.
This is important. What you're seeing here, let me just stop this real quick. So there's a car that is blocking the ICE agent's car. You could see the ICE agent get out of the car, and he's asking this person to move. And let's just keep going and watch what happens.
No,
No.
this is some fucking bullshit.
Oh!
Lawlessness. You know what? You can't block police activity. Federal agents, even local police, you can't block police activity. Now, all the tough people in that video say, oh, you're going to get paid and this and that. You know what? Maybe in Chicago because, we don't follow the laws or anything like that. But actually, you're not going to get paid. The woman's car, the black car that was damaged because the ICE agents just had to move through. And you know what? Their lives could have been threatened. So I understand why they did that. I mean, there's just been a lot of stuff and reporting of people ramming ICE agents and things like that. They may have been in fear that it was going to erupt even, on a more serious level. So, you know what? You block an ICE agent, your car can get your bumper ripped off. And that's just too bad. But again, moving on, again, this is the chaos we're supposed to be living in. I want to pivot now to our politicians. Our politicians seem to think that they can threaten people's lives and then not be held accountable for that. And they feel very entitled to the position. So if they get on the ballot, we're going to be elected. I'm going to be the next governor. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. You don't have a say, and I don't have a say. Again, go back to work, shut up, smile, pay your bills, and, we're going to do whatever we want. Let's take a look at this next situation. Now, first, let me size it up. Abigail Spanberger is running for Virginia governor, and she has endorsed the person that's running for attorney general in Virginia. His name is Jay Jones. If you haven't heard this is what Jay Jones did, and this is how Abigail Spanberger reacted. So stick with me. Here we go. I'm going to make it worth your time. Okay, so again, he's running for attorney general. He's talking about murdering his political opponent. Okay, murdering his political opponent, and it's in these text messages. Okay. They say nice things about everyone, LOL. If those guys died before me, I will go to their funerals on their graves. Send them out awash in something. Jay Jones. This other person's going, Jay. 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. His colleague that he is actually texting back and forth was, Jay, stop. He laughs. It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. So I'll stop with that. So that is the setup to what Abigail Spamberger, who wants to be the Virginia governor, refused to do in her debate the other night with Winsome Sears. We're supposed to go along with this. Okay, ready? Here we go. She's been asked about it, and this is what she does.
Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say?
Look at that. She smirks.
What if he said it about
She doesn't say anything.
your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Miss Earl Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them.
You get the picture. No, she doesn't owe you or me or anybody an explanation. The hubris of this woman. And this is, you know what? This is our politicians. This is the leadership that we're, again, supposed to just go along with and smile and be Mike Milquetoast. And, remember, time to make the donuts. It's time to make the donuts, everybody. You just have to go to work. And, we could threaten people, we could break the laws, all that kind of stuff. And she's not going to answer it. But it gets worse. There's actually somebody else, and I'm just going to touch on it. Her name is Katie Porter. This person is another unhinged lunatic. Again, same tree, different branch. There's a lot of branches in the lunatic tree. And she has a meltdown when she simply asked, how are you going to win your campaign, basically? It's all over. But I want to make sure you see it. And here we go. Katie Porter running for governor of California. Listen to how she reacts. Just being asked a question.
Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
But you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the
She
40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't
How
understand.
dare you ask
I'm
that
happy
question?
to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And
Oh,
we've
look at
also
you.
asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Boo-hoo. She's going to take her ball and go home. Yeah, she should be the governor. She's going to take her ball and go home. But you have to go to work all the time. Anyway, but there is some good news, and actually stick with me here because, again, sharing information, empowering people a lot of times. And some of the reason why I did this video is because I got a lot of comments in my last several videos where people just didn't know about what I was, talking about, and they thanked me for sharing them. So if you watch my channel, again, I want everybody to be empowered, to understand what's going on, to get ready to, either just be aware. I mean, knowledge is power. And there is somebody that's doing a really, really good job. Her name is Maureen Callahan. She's got a YouTube channel called The Nerve. And what I think she's doing is really good. And I think this is good progress. And we're starting to see even, Hollywood and, pop media, mainstream media starting to push back on Hollywood. Kudos to Maureen Callahan. And again, I do realize most of my video is men, and this kind of appears to be sort of a fluff kind of entertainment channel, but there's signal in this. She's unmasking people. And in this video, I'm just going to show a real quick clip of it. She unmasked Ryan Reynolds, who is a really sicko, and asked his daughter to do something sick in the Deadpool movie. So let's just get to that. Deadpool.
Here's a fun anecdote that Ryan shared about the making of the most recent Deadpool movie until clearly his publicist or his crisis
Jesus,
manager
pick,
told
pick.
him.
7.
She told him, I think this kid didn't even want to be in the movie at all. But he said, here's the line of dialogue I want you to read. And she told him she didn't want to do it. And not least because it is a sexually graphic line.
Okay.
She
So that's as far as I'm going to go with that clip from Maureen's channel. But again, the reason why I wanted to highlight that is because it's important to understand that, you don't want to get in despair. And that's kind of what happened earlier this week. It was a very, very long day. I had a ton of just intense meetings at work. I was spent. I usually like to unwind at night by looking through X, looking through YouTube, scouring for other areas of content that I think would be of interest to everybody. And I just was like, man, this is nuts. I am not in the mood for this crap. Have you had enough of the chaos? Have you had enough? And that's where we are right now. Again, beautiful Sunday in the fall. Make it a great day. And I'll see you next time.